I had an idea for a cold open.
Oh, go ahead.
Are you allowed to have ideas for a cold open?
I also had an idea for a cold open.
I don't think you're supposed to have ideas for cold opens. I think
I think it's
that's
supposed to
the
happen pretty
point of it
naturally. I
being
think I
cold.
think it's just supposed to be shit's happening and somebody presses record.
We didn't have any shit happening. Well, the problem is
No.
that the recording software starts off with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So there's no way unless we
Oh.
both made like a solemn vow right here in this moment to like as we're doing our cold opens, we look away from our main screen and we talk. And then when it's time for the cold open, like just one of it, well, me, because I'm hitting the button. So like we both look away, and then I'll pretend like I don't know that I just hit the button, and then we start cold open.
No, I don't know if that's gonna work. We're gonna have to figure something out. I wonder if you can turn the countdown off. That would probably be the most logical answer. But
You probably gotta pay. You probably gotta pay for the standard. That's how they keep you. They hold you hostage. We're using Riverside FM for everybody at home. We're using Riverside FM to record the podcast.
for our close friends and family.
For our close friends and family who's listening to this, and then anybody that any of our close friends and family may have decided to share this with, even though we beg them not to. If you're listening to this and you're
This
not
is a
close friends and
pilot. You're
family,
not supposed to hear this.
this is a pilot. You're not supposed to hear this. This is unofficial. It's not representative of us. Anything we say in this podcast is not representative of
Mm,
the brand,
I
whatever
don't know about that
brand.
one.
There's no brand
I don't know
right
about that
now.
one.
Future brand. Wouldn't it be crazy if like somebody like heard this in like 2000 like 38?
I mean, this is gonna be crazy when we're dropping this as Patreon content. That's what I'm manifesting.
Patreon. Do you think
That's what
Patreon's
I
still gonna
am
be around?
manifesting. Huh?
We can't manifest Patreon though, because if Patreon's not the thing that's out in 2038, like if Patreon
I
like
don't. I don't want to be famous in 2038, my dude.
what if we ended up on OnlyFans?
I don't want to end up on OnlyFans.
No, because
It's
you know,
totally different for a woman than it is for a man.
do you know what OnlyFans was supposed to be for? It was for
Only the
fans.
fans.
It was for fans. It was not supposed to be
Yeah,
what
I
it
know.
is
It's supposed to be
now.
like a Patreon thing.
It's supposed to be like a Patreon thing. So what it because remember OnlyFans tried was it like a year or two ago to like take all the um risque adult content off of their
I think
platform,
so.
and then
Yeah.
they almost went bankrupt
Mhm.
off of that. What if they end up like catch their bag? What if OnlyFans catches their bag?
I don't think OnlyFans is gonna. But I mean, maybe the creators will be like, let's give it another go, and put
And then
something else
and then
at. And yeah, and then it's not Patreon anymore. I guess you're right. I am manifesting whatever fucking thing that people come and subscribe to.
we just
That's
got
that's
demonetized.
that's the
I
goal
was
here.
trying so
Fuck,
hard to
you're
not
right.
demonetize us,
It's
and
a
then
pilot.
you just
It's a
did this.
pilot. No one's
It's a
supposed to
pilot.
hear
It's a
it.
pilot. But what if it's quality? What if it's
No
quality
cussing again
content?
from this point on. If it's on Patreon, if it's Patreon content, who the fuck is gonna? There's no way this is quality. No way.
Why not?
This is our first take.
I think it's good. What if
This
it's
is
a
our first
banger?
try.
What was an absolute banger of a first take?
This is a first try of something we've already done once before, like a topic you already know.
I haven't done my topic.
No, but my topic.
You've done your topic. Now you
Yeah.
just ruined it. You just ruined it.
Whereas I'm not supposed to say that?
No, because now that our close friends and family and anybody that they happen to share this with and our OnlyFans fans in 2038 know that we've done this topic before, that this is not like the genuine article like pilot episode. It's lost. So it's like if Babe Ruth had hit his 300th home run like last week, and then he hit his other 300th home run a week later, and he tried to sell the second home run. And then you found out that like, what he's like in
Brother,
his yard and threw a home run. He's in his
brother,
yard
this
and
is
threw a
like
home
our
run.
fifth pilot at this point.
You just,
We've
you just.
we've
So,
recorded so many things that never can come out.
so if Babe Ruth had hit his 300th home run 5 times in his backyard,
No, that is like Babe Ruth hitting his 500th home run every night at practice. That don't work the same.
and then he sells the ball that he hit his 300th home run against the Red Sox. I don't know football, but he hits his 300th home run against the Red Sox, and that's the ball they sell. And then
Sports
30
ball.
years later, they find out like he hit his 300th home run like 5 times in the practice before the game. Now the ball that sold meant nothing. So now our
But it's still
pilot will mean
sold for that
nothing
much.
if we try. If we, bro,
It's our first video pilot.
if we sell this is our first video pilot. That is true. That's true. And
There's a video for it.
I'm not just saying that's true to try and validate my claim. But if we try to sell like in to our OnlyFans, like if we hit them up in the DMs and we're like,
I
if
don't
you
like the OnlyFans trend.
tip me $5,000 and I'll send you our pilot episode, and then like the pilot gets out and gets leaked, that's not the real pilot. Nobody else is gonna buy it.
I don't think that's true.
Nobody else is
I don't
gonna
think
buy
that's true.
our
I don't
pilot
think that's true
episode.
at all. I
Can
don't think
you
that's how that
even
works.
can you sell like a video? Really? I guess you can.
Yeah.
No, because like it's the internet. So like if you like you can like download. So
I'm not gonna lie to you, my dude. I pay money on Patreon to watch the podcasts and support the creators that I enjoy.
I don't. I pirate that shit. I go on Reddit and I'll try to find. I'm playing.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Stop it.
It's gonna be a
Okay,
bad look.
add that onto the untouchable topics list.
This is the pilot episode. This is the pilot episode. It's fine. Nobody else are gonna hear that. There.
No
So
one
the
but our
only
close friends and family,
and whoever they
and whoever
decide
they
to
share
share
it
this with.
with, and our OnlyFans fans in 2038.
And if you are someone that this was shared with by our close friends and family, they're probably making fun of us. It was probably under the rules of like my buddies tried to make a podcast
Yeah,
and
it's not
it's
going
so
well.
bad. You need to check this out. It's so bad. It's so bad. If you're listening under that pretext, shame.
Leave now. If you're 6 minutes in, 7 minutes in, however long, and you haven't chuckled once, probably leave.
Shame. Shame. That's on you. That's a you problem. We're funny. We're funny. Okay?
I'm hilarious.
I am too. And I'm Ian.
Yeah. And I'm Murna.
We're hilarious. Is this the end of the cold open? Is this the end of the cold open?
No, no. You set it up. I had to knock it out of the park. I was Babe Ruth right there.
It was a good. That was, yeah. Your fifth 300th home run.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
full looping everything right now.
This is bad. This is like the worst continuity
Yeah,
like
this is bad. This is
triangle
pretty bad.
there has
This is
ever
pretty
been.
bad. We have had so many times where we've had conversations and been like, we should have a podcast. This is podcast content, and then we start a podcast, and this is what we talk about.
We always
I'm
have
just
like
saying.
there's always like a third person. Maybe we're not the funny people, like we're enablers. We're comedy
We're
enablers.
hilarious, but what we do is we're wrecking somebody else, whatever they're saying. You know, we're playing off of it.
We're comedy enablers.
Comedy enablers.
Yeah. We
Comedy
make other
bullshit.
people funny and we're only funny in reference to somebody else. But we're not funny in a reference. If you're listening this far and if you made it this far, shame.
Stop
Shame.
shaming them for that. Don't shame them for that one. No, I take that one back.
I'm gonna shame
Everybody, anybody who listens.
that's gonna be like a Curtis Connor. Is it Curtis Connor? He's like,
I don't know.
hey Jeff, welcome to Jeff Town. You're the best. You're
I don't
the
want
best.
to throw any accolades to anybody who's not us when we're doing our podcast. You know what I'm
Not
saying?
not accolades, but I'm still like
Absolutely a
like
joke.
where you have like a bit that goes forever.
Uh-huh.
Like a
Yep,
bit
yep,
and that's
yep,
like a thing.
Yep,
I
yep.
like the idea of like our forever bit being shame. And that's the like anytime somebody we're gonna shame the hell out of the community. If there is a community. There's probably never gonna be a community. Like the 5 people who listen to us, shame.
The goal is a community.
Yeah, but we're probably
Are
never
we
gonna
funny
have that.
enough? Probably not. We're pretty
Shame.
stupid.
Shame. If you think we're funny enough to be a part of a community to back us, shame.
If you're a part of the community watching this on our OnlyFans in 2038, um, shame.
Can you imagine what we look like in 2038?
No.
Me in particular. Because I already my one of my teachers, I think she's younger than me, and she called me sir today.
I mean, I don't like the denomination that if you're calling someone ma'am or sir, you're automatically saying that they're older than you.
That's easy to say when you're not old.
I am not that much younger than you, my dude. I don't know why everybody cresting 30 thinks they have reached this new slot in life where
I'm
it is
not
suddenly
cresting.
old. But like I don't like it. You chill, dude.
Because
There's no difference.
you feel it. You feel that this is a topic that has been beaten to death. If you're out there and you enjoy the people talking about the woes of being old, shame. But we can't
Yeah,
kill the
shame,
shame thing. We
shame for
can't
that.
kill the shame thing. If you say shame on the podcast every time you talk about anything, shame. It's the random pains. It's just like you just be like chilling and I'm gonna be out like my chest will just start hurting.
You have had that for I have lived with you, motherfucker.
Since
That
I
was
was
several years ago
30.
before you
Since
were
I was
30.
like
No,
29,
fuck you.
29, 29. And it's just like random pain or like laid up in bed and then your hip. Ah, and it's like I didn't do anything. Like
I
I
already have that. I'm 27.
well, you're beat up.
What does that mean?
Beat up is different from old.
I'm beat up.
Yeah. If you have like a 2022 Honda Accord, and like you got in a couple accidents, it's gonna drive the same as like a '98 Buick LeSabre.
Yeah.
Yeah, beat up. You fell, you tripped, you been hurt a couple times, you done your thing. You beat up.
Yeah, I done my thing.
That's what beat up means. Nothing wrong with it.
If you say so.
I'm beat up. I've been beat up since I was 29. That's why I was having chest pains.
You was in the military. That accounts for a lot of it.
You worked in a restaurant.
That means nothing.
That's beat up. I promise you, I was more beat up from working at restaurants than when I was in the military. Like body wise. Because like in the army, they're like, hey soldier, are you using proper technique to pick that thing up? Like they're yelling at you for not doing the right thing. When you work in a restaurant, they expect you to do the wrong thing. For like the manual labor part of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No.
The hours and hours and hours of like I saw so many dudes who like, oh geez, they've made me stand here for 3 hours. I'm gonna go to the troop medical center and complain to the surgeon general about my feet. My poor feet hurt. I'm gonna write a complaint, and they eat it up because the Uncle Sam that there is like nowadays
No, I
is not
don't
the
know
same
any
Uncle
of this.
Sam. Yes, they can. People will go and like wah boo boo to like the troop medical center doctors, and they get like you don't want to shave. Shaving's part of the military, right?
Okay.
So I understand that there are some people who genuinely cannot shave, and not like for medical reasons cannot shave.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
get that,
Okay.
but there was a lot of guys who did not have a medical reason for why they didn't have to shave that would go to the troop medical center, and they call it getting a profile, and you can go get a profile. And now like I have shin splints. I can't run anymore. Well, there's no way for the doctor to tell if you have shin splints or not. So they would go to the doctor and they'd be like, my shins hurt really bad when I run. Okay, let me write you a no running profile. You don't have to run anymore. My shoulder's been hurting real bad, doc. Is there anything you can do for me? Yeah, no push up profile. Here you go. You don't have to do push ups for 90 days. 90 days, no push ups. And it's the
Did you do
army.
this?
Did I do this? I had profiles written, but I didn't like go because what do they call it? There's like I forget the term for it, but like when like the guys who would go and they were like a regular at the troop medical center, go get a profile, come back, get a because I know that there's like a good reason to get profiles written sometimes.
Mhm.
Like if you have like a legitimate medical reason for why you shouldn't be doing these things, then yes, go get a profile, heal, get right. But it was the guys who abused that and
This
they
is
run
a
it.
terrible podcast.
Shame. If you're in the military and you're listening to this and you have a no running profile right now,
Anybody in the military.
shame. I do know some people in the military, and if you're somebody that I know who's in the military and you're listening to this podcast right now,
You gonna send it to them?
shame. No, because it's shame because they're listening to it. I didn't send it to them, so somebody I know sent it to them. and it
Alright, well,
circulated.
welcome to the podcast.
What podcast? What's the podcast called?
The running title right now is Ian and Murna don't understand much, or I'm dumb.
Worst cold open ever.
What?
Hold on. Let's back this up and don't cut this. Don't cut this. You ready?
Uh,
Hold on. Boom 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 boom.
it's pretty good.
We said we talk. Oh, cut. Bring it back. And don't cut this. Don't cut this. Boom boom.
Alright, this is the podcast. Ian and Myrna don't understand much. I'm Ian.
I'm Myrna.
As you can see, we're fucking idiots. So I was gonna talk about, as you now know, something we've talked about before. Sealand. So Ian, do you know about Sealand?
No, I don't actually, because I forget things.
I definitely told you all about Sealand. I found Sealand doing dumb shit on the internet. Random research.
Oh shit, Myrna, we forgot
What?
a super important part of all this. I just accidentally did ASMR, and I'm so sorry. On the podcast, we are partaking of substances
Oh yeah.
that's not already readily available. Now, Myrna has already
Yeah, I'm
partaken of her substance. You wouldn't be able to tell. Today, I am drinking a WeldWorks watermelon cotton candy sour ale.
You're gonna
And
go that in depth every time?
I was inspired by, yeah, if I'm not drinking like a fucking Mickey's or something,
Okay.
I'm gonna get in and think
Alright,
about
go ahead.
think about the
Go
marketing.
for it.
What if WeldWorks picks us up?
I suppose.
What
And
do you
I'm eating Nerds gummy clusters. Mmm.
Did you have to hit him with the ASMR? What really sucks is ASMR ruined onomatopoeia. You know what I
What?
mean? ASMR content
Yeah.
ruined
Why?
onomatopoeia.
Why? Argue this.
Because you can't. Because
We were
that's
supposed
what.
to be done with the cold open. Now you're
That's
gonna
what.
cold open?
Do you want me to do some ASMR real quick?
No.
Okay, then I can't explain. If you listen to
Alright,
ASMR,
go ahead. Go ahead. I don't like ASMR. Go ahead.
if you like ASMR, shame. Shame.
My girlfriend likes ASMR.
If you're Myrna's girlfriend, shame.
Shame.
But no, like onomatopoeia, right? Sounds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They do those in the ASMR videos. Where they're like,
I hate this. I hate this so much.
I don't like it either. If you like what I just did, if that did something for you, shame.
No, I mean it's a thing. Like I know it's a thing. I know people are into it. I don't get the tingles or whatever it is people feel.
Onomatopoeia or ASMR?
ASMR.
Because I like onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeias can be anything though, right? Like meow is an onomatopoeia.
Yes, but you used to get. Have you read a comic book in the last like 5 years?
Yeah.
They don't do the pop, bang, pizzazz anymore. They took those out. Okay, around the same time that ASMR content creators started doing them.
That's true.
So
that is blatant misinformation.
I think this is not an educational podcast.
The goal is to educate people on topics they wouldn't think to educate themselves about.
My goal is to open people's minds and think about things they might not normally think about.
Moderately educational. You're not going to use any of this information, but you'll know it.
Moderately noticed that they stopped putting fizz bang pows in the Batman comics around the time that people were dressing like kitty cats and tapping on their microphones.
All right. Sealand.
Sealand.
Or Sealand. I'm not 100% sure. It's one word, Sealand. This is a something that's what I was fucking saying when I was rudely interrupted. this is something I stumbled across in random internet research. Came across this little picture about Sealand, and got interested in, so decided to do the research so you don't have to. Um, Sealand is essentially like a micronation is what it's called pacifically. Uh, but it's a small country, a tiny little country. They founded their own little country.
Is Shamu their president?
No, I will get to their president. I will talk about the lineage and how it is. I guess it would be more like a king because it is passed down through his
It's like
lineage.
a monarchy.
Yeah, like a monarchy.
Can you swim with the dolphins there?
No, I don't think you can even stay there. Like, I don't think you can go to Sealand. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know you can get shit from Sealand. Like, you can get like a Sealand passport, I think. But I don't think you can go to Sealand.
So it's not a theme park. It's like a
It's a for real place. Like, it's a for real nation. People live here. People call this home.
in the sea.
Yeah, this being a like sea fort, that was used during the war. So like, when I'm saying a sea fort,
Do
I'm
you fuck with
talking.
the war?
I don't fuck with the war. When I say a C4, I'm talking like essentially what looks like an aircraft carrier, but actually embedded in the seafloor.
So how do they? What's their natural resources?
Water. I
Is
don't
that
know.
it?
Yeah, I don't think they really got. Not that from what I found, they
So
sell
how do
shit.
they? They can't grow potatoes. They don't have any cows.
Listen, my dude, we did this a long time ago. I don't recall. I don't think they have animals there.
No animals at
Um,
all.
I don't believe so. I think it's only people. It's very, very small. Like I cannot express enough how small this thing is.
That's what she said.
Can I do this? Because that would be crazy. Oh look, I wonder if that'll be in it. But like, this is what I'm talking about. This is Sealand.
Let me see. We
For
weren't
our
googling stuff.
audio listeners, this is my research. For our audio listeners, I'm showing a picture of the very, very small platform that is Sealand.
It doesn't even look. It's smaller than an aircraft carrier.
Yeah,
It's like itty bitty,
it's pretty small.
and it has a. That's what she said. And it has a crane on the side of it.
Yeah, it used to be used in the war. So like I'm sure they were, letting boats down and shit like that.
So how do you live there?
Well, it's essentially like a small family that lives there. Okay, so total land mass, going back to how small it is, total land mass is about 43,000 feet, which is smaller than a football field. So it's really not a lot of space. Um, just off the coast of Suffolk, England, this guy, Paddy Roy Bates, decided to take over the fort. Right? So he originally this thing was a pirate radio after the war shut it down. It was a pirate radio station.
That's
Um,
badass.
yeah, and Patty Roy Bates, who used to be an army major and had actually been at this fort, started what he called Radio Essex, which was a renegade radio station from what was then Fort Knockjohn. So like that's what it was originally called, Fort Knockjohn.
Fort Knockjohn.
Fort Knockjohn.
I'm trying to craft a joke out of that.
Yeah, it sounds funny. It
There's
sounds like it could be a joke. It's
there's
not.
one there. There's one there.
Um. So yeah, he starts this renegade radio station from this little sea fort, once sea fort. Um. And then so like when the government tried to shut down his radio station, he moved from Fort Knockjohn to the also abandoned Fort Ruff's Tower. Fort Ruff's Tower will later become Sealand. I definitely lied to you. Fort Ruff's Tower is the one that is Sealand. That's where he moved to, and he ended up making Sealand,
Educational podcast.
where I am totally wrong.
You can't tell them you're wrong. If you're wrong about something, just roll with it, and that
This
becomes the
is
new truth.
the pilot. I did this last year, I want to say. I was the last time I read through these. Maybe earlier.
Well, make your own truths, Myrna.
No. All right. So this story is crazy. I wanted to go in depth into Sealand because when I started reading about Sealand, there was some crazy shit that came up, and I had to get into it. So Patty Bates, he ends up moving to Fort Ruff's Tower, takes over this abandoned military fort, makes still his pirate radio station. Okay, this was just outside of British territorial waters, and actually nowadays it is inside British territorial waters, but it was just outside British territorial waters at the time. And he decided, got the idea randomly, to name the fort Sealand and gift it to his wife as a Christmas present.
Did he ever purchase it, or he just
I
take
don't
a
think don't think he did. I'm pretty sure it was just abandoned and left out there, and he just took it.
like squatters' rights and just show up and like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is mine now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's absolutely it. They ended up just saying they were independent, saying that they were going to be a country, and they were. Ah, you can get noble titles. That's what it is that you can buy from them. You can become a noble of Sealand.
That's it.
Not sponsored from Sealand. No, you can also get like passports and shit like that, and I think they have, yeah, they have like coins and shit like that. They have crazy shit.
But they're their own country.
They are their own country. Yes.
To this day, they are their own country.
Yes.
They're their own.
Everything I have seen, Sealand, everywhere is its own country.
Even though they're in British waters,
Yes.
and their main export is passports and noble titles.
Tourism. I don't know. Commercial.
Oh, people can't go there.
No.
So there's no tourism.
No.
So it's titles and passports, main imports, fucking everything.
So okay. So let me get a little further into it. And we'll talk about it a little more because it's really funny you saying this. All right. So he gives it to his wife, right? Ends up with the British government still coming after this pirate radio station. Gave up pirate radio. Said, fuck it. I'm going to focus entirely on Sealand. This is a country now. I am the leader of this country. We're going to lead this country right. We're going to do it. So, with this mentality, on September 2nd, 1967, he officially named the land his principality, choosing this date because it was his wife's birthday.
Aww.
So, Christmas present for his wife first time, wife's birthday the second time. Here's the part that I was getting to that ties back to what you were talking about. This ruffled a lot of feathers. People didn't like this. People didn't like Sealand just being taken over. And some describe Sealand as Cuba off the coast of Britain.
I feel like it's a slap in the face to Cuba.
There's nothing to do there.
That's pretty shit.
There's
like,
no cigars.
Like Cuba,
no
Cuba has cigars. Cuba has old
beaches.
cars. They have cool stuff in Cuba, but I don't know. I've never been to Cuba, so I can't speak for it. But I don't know. I feel like if I was Fidel Castro, I'd be a little pissed off about that.
Yeah, it does feel kind of like a slap in the face to Cuba. Like, they really got nothing. This thing is smaller than a football field, and you're gonna call it Cuba off the coast of Britain. Doesn't feel right.
Can you get a passport from Cuba?
Not without being a Cuban citizen, right?
But you can get a passport from Sealand without being a Sealand citizen?
I think so. I think it's a fake passport. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't like Sealand.
You don't have to like Sealand. I'm just telling you about it.
I
You don't
appreciate
have to want any of this knowledge.
You know what? If you're listening to this pilot episode and you're from Sealand, shame.
There's very few people who live there. Like, I don't remember if I had the number. Maybe we'll get to it at some point. But there are very few people who live there. Okay, so let me keep going down my timeline. So in 68, so he gets this place in 67 officially, names it his principality. In 68, these British workmen entered the waters surrounding Sealand. Right, this is where shit starts popping off. Okay,
Workmen.
workmen enter there. Okay, Patty Bates' son, who is a large part of Sealand nowadays, in like the more modern times now, um, tries to scare these guys off by firing some warning shots at them.
Oh.
Okay? He was, of course, found kind of guilty for this and was summoned to court. And technically, they were still British citizens at the time, but when he got there, since Sealand is technically outside of its limits, like British limits in international waters, they couldn't do a thing about it.
Hell yeah.
Okay? So anything that's happening out here at this point can't be dictated under British law. As you can expect, people don't like that.
What people?
British government comes after them a lot.
It's not like the people of Britain.
People in Britain, I don't know if they care too much about
You think
Sealand.
well, I can think a bunch of like
They're
British
probably
people
like,
be like those chaps out there in the water just shooting at the workmen trying to get some work done. It's time for the constable to do something about this. You know, they get their feathers ruffled over like you don't like beans from the tin, from the
do
tinny.
they? How many
Yeah,
how
they
many
get
British
ruffled
people
about
do you
everything.
know?
I know the caricatures that are put out on the internet, and then
In the media?
I'm drawing conclusions that every
Based
British
on those
person
caricatures.
is just like the ones from like a Monty Python skit.
Ah, okay.
Yep,
Got it. Obviously you know everything about it.
I do. Thank you. Maybe I'll
Alright.
do my topic will be on British people next time.
So, to get back on my topic, in 78, so about 10 years later, right? They're doing their thing in Sealand, fucking chilling, bopping in Sealand, for 10 years at this point. And this guy, Alexander Achenbach. It's a fun name.
Achenbach.
Achenbach.
Rough.
So, this guy, he is a Sealandonian. So he's living at Sealand.
Is that what they
Uh,
call them?
yeah, Sealandonians.
Is that really what they call them?
Yes.
Not Sealanders?
No, Sealandonians.
I hate Sealand. If you from Sealand, if you a Sealandonian, shame.
Hey,
Shame.
I don't mind Zealandonians. You guys are pretty cool. Alright, so this guy, Alexander Achenbach, he self-proclaims himself, which I guess in a nation like Sealand, where it is self-proclaimed, you can just self-proclaim whatever you want. He self-proclaims that he is the prime minister of Sealand. Okay? He says, I am the prime minister of Sealand. So while Patty Bates and his wife are out of town, out of country, out of state. I don't know. While they're gone, um, he decides to hire these German and Dutch mercenaries to attack Sealand.
The Prime Minister of Sealand
The Prime Minister of Sealand,
sent
Alexander
mercenaries.
Achenbach.
Sent. I was gonna make a pretty off color World War II joke. I'm gonna leave that one alone. hires the guys from what's the movie with it's Christmas, the Christmas movie. He hires the guys from Die Hard
Red Dawn. Oh.
to attack Sealand, the Sealandonians.
Yep.
Does John McClane show up and save the day?
Kind of. All right. So, okay. Let me explain. Right. It is a little Die Hardish, actually. A little. Okay. So, Achenbach had disagreed with Bates over plans to turn Sealand into a luxury motel. Right.
Who wanted to turn it into a hotel?
Hotel and casino.
Who wanted to do that?
Achenbach.
Achenbach did?
Mm-hmm.
So Bates a dummy then.
Why?
No, that's a fantastic idea. Cause like, what are they doing now? Oh, we're selling passports and nobility. You can.
Own country, they found their own little slice of freedom, my
So
dude.
have an export more than a fake passport. Cause like you're right. It probably is a fake passport. If I pulled up to like if I try to go to Dubai and I pull out like
You're
I'm a citizen of
Sealandonian.
Sealand, they're gonna kick me out. They're gonna tell me to kick rocks, buddy. That's not a real place. But if it was a casino, money brings legitimacy. They could have been rolling in the dough. And you said there's like what, like 15, 20 people living there? Like
Uh,
barely anybody living in Sealand?
so at this point, there's like 50 people.
50? So
Hmm.
you got 50 employees at your big, because like a casino, a hotel and casino. Now, the looking at that picture that you sent,
Uh huh.
y'all, everybody out there in video in audio land did not get to see it, but it looked pretty run down. And it's from World War II.
Yeah,
So like Mother Nature has definitely run its course on
yeah,
like
100%. And
the
the
things
war
holding up
run
Sealand
its course, you
and the
know?
war. So you probably can't have much more than 50 people on it at a time anyway.
No.
But I mean, if they had turned it into a casino back in the 60s, taken some of that money, shored it up, fix it up, made it right, get where you can put 100 people on this thing. You charge exorbitant rates to sail them out from England to Sealand. You make them buy a passport because you're going to a different country, right? So you have to have a passport. So like you get your passport, you get your tickets and everything. It's your own country, so the currency, money is fake and doesn't exist anyways. So just invent your own like
This is
currency
becoming
rate.
like a conspiracy at this point.
Not a conspiracy. It's a business. Okay, if you're a Sea Landonian out there, no more shame. No more shame. Call me, and I'm gonna get your business set up. We're gonna fix your country.
They founded this place for freedom. Like he didn't want to do that. He wanted this place for his family.
Freedom is as much a made up idea as money is. But I mean, you can cry your way to freedom all day, but you ain't gonna be crying on your way to the bank when you got $1 million
I,
from
I
the
feel like
casino.
this is your wet dream, Ian. Like these guys found this little place where laws don't fucking matter. You can make your own laws. You can come here and say, "I want this place. This is mine," and carve out this little slice of life and just live on your own in your little country of Sealand, and maybe take a boat once a week to go get groceries and supplies and water.
See, I want freedom and everything, but I don't want it to
I
be
do think they
like
have like a pumping system.
out on the water. You know what I mean?
I
Like
mean,
I don't
that's
want
the
to have
only
to.
difference.
That's a big enough reason that is the exclusionary detail right there of like I have to get on a boat and I saw what their dock looked like. It was a crane, so I have to like get on this boat that's hanging on some like metal wires, descend down into the cold depths of the British coast, and
Mhm.
then fly boat my way to England to buy like what do they eat over there? Beans and toast.
Maybe they have a ferry or something. I don't know.
What are they? Bangers and mash, fish and chips, and that's what I'm living off of.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they don't get Wi-Fi out there.
Maybe they can. Maybe they can set up a tower.
If it were a casino and they had the money to set up the tower, if they had a casino, they could pay Elon Musk for Starlink, and they could have internet out there.
I don't know. I don't know, dude. It seems like they're living like their best life out here.
That sounds like the worst life. That's like the worst life.
It seems like they're happy with it. Anyways, okay. Either way, going back. So, Alexander Achenbach, self-proclaimed Prime Minister of Sealand, he decides that he wants to um, turn it into a hotel and casino, which Ian thinks is a great idea. Patty Bates is like, nah, I don't want to do that. And so Achenbach has this like these German and Dutch businessmen that he wanted to open this casino with, so he just gets them to, I guess, hire these mercenaries and just launch an attack on the place. Okay? So these guys roll up in speedboats, helicopters, jet skis, the whole nine. Okay? They're pulling up. It is action movie sequence time. Um, they end up taking Michael, the son, hostage. So Michael Bates, his son. But, fucking Patty ends up coming back, and with the help of the 50 people that were living there, they launch a counterattack, with Michael also counterattacking from the inside as he's being held hostage, and they end up taking back Sealand, and in the process took a hostage themselves.
There needs to be an action movie about this.
That's what I'm
Just this
saying.
moment right here. And could you imagine like a movie about Sealand? If you're in Hollywood, if you're a Sealandonian or a Hollywood Woodlandonian, and you're wanting to make an action movie, get
This is
with
a
me.
great premise.
Get with me, because it was my idea,
No,
and we're gonna make it happen. I invented this. Yes, if you're
you'd
Michael
have to
Bates,
get you'd have to get like Michael Bates and the
why?
lineage into it. Come
Why? How are
on.
they gonna sue me? They're not. They're
No,
not.
no, no.
They're from Sealand. They don't have any legal rights.
No, they're from Sealand. They have legal rights.
That's like
They
their
have
whole thing.
Sealand
Is
rights.
they're not. They're disconnected
And they
from
have national right, not national,
my ass.
international
So
rights.
okay, so Michael Bates allowed to go shoot at people for trying to do their job, and nobody can do anything to him. But if I try to make a movie about him, then he can sue me.
I don't know, maybe.
That's
I don't know. I don't know how that
crazy.
all fucking works, man. Money, I guess, is the main decider
Well, they
here.
don't got no money because they didn't start a casino. So they're selling
You don't know
passports.
that.
They're selling passports.
Maybe they fish a lot. I don't know.
Oh, they're selling fish from a static point in the ocean. I hope that like their main export is fish, and like the British Workmen's Union like just sends out tons of fishermen to just fish like 500 feet away
Uh,
from Sealand, and they'll see like Michael Bates out there like, I'm if these jimmies don't get out of here, I'm gonna shoot them right good again. Just get a little closer to me, I'll shoot ya.
is Michael Bay British?
Michael Bates. Michael
Oh,
Bates.
Michael Bates. I
Michael
thought you said
Michael
Michael Bay.
Bay. Michael Bay did the Transformers movie.
Yeah, I thought you said Michael Bay. I was like, what?
Now Now this is there. There's only one thing that I've heard about. So Sealand is actually like a shoulder spike from a Decepticon that landed deep in the waters, and Megatron has been trying to release. They call it
Bro,
sea.
if that's a shoulder pad, that's a giant fucking Decepticon.
It's Atlantatron, and Atlantatron's been in Atlant. So I meant for like Atlantis
By the Sealandonians.
is manned by the Sealandonians. Well, they get kicked off because they're just like fleas to Atlantatron. And I was thinking about Atlantatron like Atlantis, but then I realized like that could be like Atlanta, like
Atlanta, yeah, that's what I thought of.
ATL. But and that's why they didn't build a casino on it, because the Allspark doesn't like money, and Michael Bay should
Yeah,
do a
that's
movie.
why.
If you're Michael Bay or Michael Bates,
Yeah, it works both ways.
hit me up because I got an idea. I got an idea for a movie. Hit me up.
Alright, so they end up taking a hostage, right? So the German ambassador rolls up and ends up negotiating for this man's release. Which Sealand kind of took as like a fuck yeah. Because like they're officially recognized at this point, right? Like the German ambassador had to come to Sealand and fucking negotiate in order to get a man out. That's pretty official. That doesn't happen to Joe Schmo on the street. Okay? So they end up selling this guy back for 75,000 Deutschmarks, or 35,000 US dollars. So they made a good chunk of change off this guy.
I've discovered Sealand's other export,
Hostages.
hostages.
Alright, so Alexander Achenbach, he is all butthurt, and he calls for a government in exile, which is a political group that claims to be a country or semi-sovereign state's legitimate government, but is unable to exercise legal power, and instead resides in a foreign country. country. So he calls it Sealand rebel government. So in the country of Sealand, where there are 50 people and it is smaller than a football field, like talk about small town vibes, this guy calls for a government in exile and then creates a separate government within Sealand called Sealand Rebel Government.
Is he still living in Sealand at the time?
Yeah, I think
He
so.
he's in Sealand.
I think no, I don't think so. I think he left after that.
Okay,
After
he
they
left.
died.
He left. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. How about, cause that'd be funny. That'd be funny as shit. If
that
like
would be good.
they're eating at like different tables in the cafeteria.
There's like one little spot that is for him and his country.
And for the other people in his rebel group. So it's like we're the cool kids. You can't sit here, Michael Bates.
I don't know. But yeah, there's not much more after that. That's where it really got like crazy is that movie script. Okay, so pretty much Sealand was selling these passports, right? I've been telling you about them the whole time. So they're not technically recognized, but still real. In '97, they had to recall all of them because we're going back to the Sealand rebel government, okay? Because the Sealand rebel government was using them to money launder. They were making money, selling over 4,000 of the passports to Hong Kong citizens for $1,000 each.
I mean, that's their other export is money laundering.
No, that's the Sealand rebel government's export.
So when they were making, so the Sealand rebel government is not living in Sealand.
As far as I know,
they're in like a rustic flat in downtown London.
Sure.
And they're printing passports and selling them to Hong Kong citizens for $1,000 each. And this was in '97.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that $1,000 is like, that's like, let me do some quick math real quick. That's like $20,000 in today's money.
Probably something like that.
From '97, you know. This is a totally truthful podcast.
Yeah. Definitely everything we say totally truthful.
Mm-hmm. And that's all the Sealand rebel government is money laundering, but Sealand itself, led by the Bates, Michael Bates being like the new leader after his daddy.
Yeah.
I'm presuming passed
from what I
away. Yeah. He would have been pretty old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all I'm saying is Michael Bates or Michael Bay, hit me up. I got a great idea for a movie. I have a great idea for a couple of movies.
There's little things after that. So like they sell passports again now. In 2006 there was a fire on the top deck, which ships had to be sent out to help. So I guess Britain does still help them.
You know? I wouldn't. If they're that much of a menace out there in the waters that I'm like sending out.
As much anymore, right? Like, who gives a shit now?
They're selling fake passports. They're money laundering. They're criminals.
No, the Sealand rebels were doing that. Sealand was not.
I mean, Sealand is Sealand that.
Sealand is selling passports. They're not real passports, but you can go buy a passport. But the Sealand rebel government was the one money laundering.
How much is a regular Sealand passport?
I don't know.
Don't Google it. This is a no Google podcast.
I mean, I already have it open.
So it's like 20.
Googling it?
Hold on, I'll Google it real quick. Hold on a second. It's like $20,000 for a Sealand passport. It's like a legitimate one.
So you can become an e-citizen. But it looks like they're not actually selling the passports right now. It looks like they're selling
e-citizen. E-citizen.
Yep. They are now selling e-citizenships.
I'm like $500. If I had to guess how much it is to be an e-citizen, are you having to dig through their website? Like you have to like go through like a bunch of
$7.99 a month.
$7.99 a month.
That's how they fucking make their money.
For less than the price. But who's buying this?
I don't know. Some people do.
Why?
They have they have I forgot to mention this. I kind of skipped over it. They have their own constitution, flag, and motto. And the motto is Imare Libertas, from the sea freedom. And they
I
have it on their passport. That's what
I
makes
hate these
think of
Sealanders.
it.
These
This is how
Sealandonians.
they're making their money,
I
dude.
can't
So
stand.
you can buy the passport. You can buy like an ID card, like a almost like a driver's license from Sealand. You can register a piece of their territory. You can become. Now, here's where the prices start getting really crazy. This is what made me look into Sealand. Okay, you can become a baron or a baroness. That's about $60. A lord or a lady is $30. It goes up from there. A sir or a dame, so knighthood, $150. A count or a countess, $300. And a duke or a duchess, $750 to become a duke or a duchess of Sealand.
What do you get out of that? A certificate?
For our
I feel like it's a
visual
certificate and like
watchers.
a healthy amount of legal issues.
That's not true. You're a Kentucky Colonel,
That's a charity thing.
I suppose. This is also.
That'd be a good podcast topic.
I think
The
they
Kentucky
also give
Colonels.
to charities for this too. Well, they have
Do you
their coat of arms.
do you think they make the hats and the hoodies and stuff there? If you're listening to the
I'm sure.
podcast, if you're on audio, Myrna has their website up right now,
Let's see.
and they have like a whole shop. Okay, now the VPN. The VPN is big. I can that's
Look,
do
trips to
you
Sealand is coming soon.
I'm not going to Sealand.
Sealand
You
passports.
you're gonna end up in the sea if you go to Sealand.
Like you, we believe in unrestricted internet access and protecting our oceans. They just want to be free.
Now that's kick ass. Click on their VPN real quick. What does their VPN look like?
Viper.
Do you have to be
Yeah.
an e
Like become an
citizen?
e-citizen to get it.
So that's I mean that honestly the VPN is solid. I'm not saying it is. You know what? I'm gonna say it is. I've
Oh
done
look,
peer reviewed
VPN.
research. I mean, good VPN for $7 a month, $8 a month. That's not bad. That's on
I
some
mean,
Nord.
yeah, if
That's
and
cheaper than NordVPN.
you become an e-citizen of Sealand,
But that's
the Principality
I
of
wouldn't want to
Sealand.
be an e-citizen.
No,
No, because if you end up like in the news or something, like you get like arrested
like of Sealand or something.
and you're an e-citizen, like you're a citizen of another country, now you're gonna get extradited. So like you're
I mean, you'd probably want to be extradited to Sealand. Like it sounds like
why?
they're gonna scoop you up and be like, "Cool, be on your way."
Let's say I'm downtown and I'm getting blitzed off of watermelon cotton candy sour ales by Weld Works.
Not a
Some
sponsorship.
some delicious beverages, and I fall asleep and I pee myself in the street, right?
Okay.
And I get picked up by the cops the next day.
And they extradite you for
And
that?
they take me to jail. They take me to jail and they say, "Who is this guy?" I lost my wallet. I lost my wallet, you know.
All you have is
So
your Sealand passport
and all I have is my Sealand passport on me. I keep it on me. I keep the Sealand passport on me
in your secret pocket.
in my secret pocket, my super secret pocket. And they find it and they go, "Oh, this guy's a citizen of Sealand. What's he doing here? We need to send this man home. Get him a plane
No, they're
ticket."
gonna think that play pretend citizenship.
But
You
somebody
can't have it both ways.
they listened to our pilot. This is the year 2038 and a police officer has listened to our podcast but they didn't get this far into it. And they know that Sealand is a legitimate other country.
No
They
one's gonna
conked out
get
after
this
like
far into it.
53 minutes.
Yeah, no one's gonna get this far into it.
And they said they're done. So then they're like checking me out. They're arresting me. And they're like, "Oh, geez. This guy's a citizen of Sealand. I heard about Sealand one time. That's a legitimate country. We need to send him back. This is a geopolitical nightmare. Send this man back. Return him." And I get sent to Sealand. I don't want that. They don't even got a casino.
No. Well, I mean, again, you can't really be sent to Sealand at this point. So, I do have a little line about it. No one really lives there, save the Bates family. So the Bates family still lives there, but no one else really lives there. And there's some caretakers, but no more than a couple dozen at a time. So it's not like there's a bunch of citizens living there all the time.
They're
I guess
gonna
now they're opening up the ability to come visit.
they're gonna put me in like a shipping container, drop me off right outside of Sealand. I'm gonna break my way out. There's only one place to go where I can like dry land, and the whole time I'm swimming towards it, I got gun crazy Michael Bates shooting at me while I'm trying to get to safety.
Yeah.
With his like the people working on the rig are like cheering him on,
Yeah.
all because I peed my pants
Pretty much.
in downtown. So it's not worth it. The VPN's not worth it.
I guess.
That's
I
all
guess
I'm
if
saying.
that's how you view it. That's how you view it.
You got anything else about Sealand?
Nope.
Is that it? That's all you got?
Here's a fun fact. Ed Sheeran possesses a title from Sealand. There you go. That's it.
Ed Sheeran.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably because his legs don't work like they used to.
His legs. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was fucking stupid. And this.
His sea legs don't work like they used to before. I hate that. Thank you. Thank you. No, it's not. Fuck.
Yeah.
It is. Shit.
Yeah. Stupid. We have some
Well,
other names. Shoot us names if you're one of the friends and family listening to this. If you're
if
one of the people listening to this who aren't friends and family.
shame.
Yeah, that.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our podcast. My name's Ian,
My name's Myrna.
and we're done.